guys, welcome back to my channel. Ever since I posted my Hermes unboxing video in Paris, I got so many questions and I really wanted to share everything that I know and all the tips that I have to help you guys to get a bag in Paris if you are thinking going. I'm gonna share a lot of things in detail, so if you don't have the patience, feel free to scroll to the end. Well, I will put the timeline down below. Skip straight to the tips part, and I have 8 tips for you guys. Yeah, so let's just get started. There are 3 stores in Paris. One is the flagship store, FSH. The second one is the George V store. The third one is the Saf store. I'm gonna talk about what I went through in different store instead of to the timeline. First, for the flagship store, what you need to do is book a appointment online. I'm sure a lot of you have already know to go to the website the day before to try to book appointment for the next day. So the problem is me and my husband stayed in Paris for the entire week. We have 2 passports, so we have 2 people and 5 days. We entered a total 10 times, but we did not even get one opportunity to the FSH store, so we couldn't get any appointment. If you are lucky enough to get an appointment, definitely go for it and go straight ask for the bag that you want. And if you don't have appointment, don't even need to bother to go to the FSH store, because they're gonna tell you, hey, we have an online system, you have to go through the online system. The other thing that I want to mention for the flagship store is that when you enter for the appointment, they actually draw the winner randomly. It's not that whoever entered the first thing in the morning. I think the time frame is you have to enter from 10:30 to 6 p.m. and or 6:30. I'll put the right time down below. And when you enter, it's not that you enter exact at the 10:30 30 seconds and you're gonna get the appointment. Wrong, because I asked the sales associate and then they told me that it's totally pure luck. And then on the same day, around 7:30 every night, and then you will receive a text message from Hermes store. They will tell you if you get the appointment or not. It's really disappointing, because 7:30 around that time, local time every day, me and my husband were having dinner outside. It's so sad that 2 of us pretty much got rejected at very similar time frame, and the text message just say, sorry for your interest, but we couldn't accommodate your request. Yeah. It's definitely feeling very disappointed after we got rejected so many times. So the other thing I want to mention is Hermes is closed on Sunday. So if for Monday's appointment, you have to try to make a reservation on Saturday. So that's what I have for the flagship store, and we end up not able to get anything because we couldn't get an appointment. The second store I want to talk about is the George V store. George V store is a little bit smaller compared to the other 2 stores. I do hear SA told me that they have less stuff, but I don't know if it's true or not. So the first time I went to George V store was in the afternoon, and then when I went in, I asked if I could make a letter appointment with the sales associate, and the sales associate politely rejected me, say, hey, sorry, all the letter appointments are full. We suggest you come first thing in the morning. So I was like, oh, I need to come first thing in the morning. So I went there the next day, first thing in the morning, wait in line. I went there like 10 minutes before their opening time, and then there were like some people ahead of me, but I was able to get in after they opened the store, and I got served the first round. And then they basically, when you walk into the store, and then they assign all the essays they have, and each assign 1 to 1 customer. And I was really unlucky that day. I was assigned a Russian essay. she was very impatient and rude, or I just felt like she was really annoyed. She didn't hear my wish list. I was trying to tell her what I want, and she said, I know, everybody wants that, okay? And then she said, let me look. She didn't even know what I want, but she said she will go back to look. She literally went back in for less than 5 minutes, and she came back saying, I have nothing for you. And then I was quite disappointed also about the service a little bit, because I feel I have never received this kind of service in the States and in Paris, any of the store, even from the past. So then I couldn't get anything from George Fifth, and then the last day during my entire Paris trip, my husband, at that time we already got the Birkin from the Saf store, but my husband say, hey, why don't we try our luck? I know it's pushing it too much, it's like impossible. So we decided to go back to the George Fifth store one more time, and then we went back to the store, and then there was a different essay. At least she was very nice, very polite, and she heard me out exactly what I wanted. I didn't ask for Birkin or Kelly. I just asked for a Constance. Also, like, showed interest in a few other things. And then she came back with a different bag, totally not what I want. And she said, sorry, we really don't have Constance for you. And we told her it was last day of our trip. So, and then she asked me if I'm still interested in other things. So I was like, yeah, sorry, I guess no. Then that was with George Fifth. The Saf store, I think everybody's experience is different. If I get my Birkin from Saf store, it doesn't mean that you will get yours from this store. Maybe you will be lucky to get it somewhere else, right? But I'm just sharing what I went through. I know I couldn't get an appointment at the flagship store, so the first thing, and my husband and I went to Paris. What we did was we went there like 10 minutes before the store opening, so we waited online. There were a lot of Asian people were waiting, and then it was the same thing. And when they opened the store at the time, and then you just walking down through the stairs, and then they will assign different essay to each one of the customer, and then you can talk about what you want. We were assigned a really nice essay, and she went straight, asked me, what do you want? And at that time, I wasn't really sure if I should tell her my wish list, because I also feel like some people say it's not a good idea to say so. So then I kind of ignored her question. Then I like asked her, hey, how you doing? And all these things, and why we're here in Paris, and we really enjoyed the restaurant, and we really enjoyed Paris, and we were here 4 years ago as well, and we really like, this is also our favorite store, stuff like that. And they chatted a lot, and then after some time she asked me again, so what do you want? So the second time when she asked me, I told her exactly what I want. I said my top wish list is a Birkin 25 in neutral colors. I didn't mention Ito at all. I wanted a Grace Asper, Baton, like those neutral colors, but on the light side. And then I said, if you don't have Birkin 25, I'll take a Birkin 30. And if you don't have a Birkin 30, I'll take a Kelly 28, 25, or a mini Kelly. Anything that you have. Just basically Birkin or Kelly, I'll have it. But I prefer neutral colors and a gold hardware, and that would be really nice. And I told her my favorite leather is Epsom leather. Yeah, so she noted down my wish list. I was really happy because I thought that she would bring something. So she went back for a while, and then she came back with a small box, so I know it wasn't it. And also the other thing is she was opening that in front of everybody, so I know it's definitely not a Birkin or not a Kelly. But I was thinking that, hey, if it's a Constance, I will be happy too, and I will take it as well. But it ended up being a very ugly black bag. It's called Octon box. Like, I don't know how to say that, but I'll try to put a picture here. Maybe some of you know, and it's basically a black crossbody with a like a rainbow strap. Like the strap was like orangey and other colors. So like I really can't I can't carry a bag like that. And then she was like, is it because of the strap? Like she can tell that I didn't like it. I was like, no, I just have to like be really nice and rejected the back offer. She told me we really don't have any Birkins or Kellys for that day, but you can try another time. So I was gonna leave because I was thinking to my husband that, hey, if this essay doesn't work out, we should try line up again tomorrow morning and try a different essay, right? And then my husband insisted that he wanted to get something because he has something on his wish list, and I have something too, but I just wasn't sure that if this is the right essay to go with. And my husband said, did you get a bad vibe? I said I didn't. And then my husband said, why don't we just go for it, get some stuff that we like, and then we come back. So I'm really glad that my husband said that, because I feel like if it wasn't because of my husband, that I would have left already. So then we look at different stuff. We got my husband shoes, ties, another belt, and then just some stuff for my husband. And I got a black CDC bracelet. So we asked her, because we really hope that by spending some money there that she would at least offer us something, like maybe another day, because we still have a few days left in Paris. So she told us that the next day she's off. We were really disappointed. I was like, damn, I really wanted to come back tomorrow. We chatted really nicely, and then we asked her, I don't know how we started talking about restaurants and stuff, and then she said she has a really nice restaurant to recommend. We took down the information of that restaurant. We told her that we will go, and then we asked her when will be a good time to come back, and then she said she's back on Thursday, and she told us Thursday afternoon is a good time to come back to the store. So then we're like, sure, we'll see you on Thursday afternoon. So then the next day when she was off, I was telling my husband, I was like, oh my god, we already spent money with her. What if like she doesn't give me anything? Like I'm just doing all these money for nothing. And then I know I can't look at it that way. So the next day, like, because I didn't want to waste any time, and she's not at the store, right? So we went back to the Saks store on Wednesday when she was off. We tried to find another essay. Was like around noontime, and then we went in and we were assigned a, let's call him SA2. So the SA2, we told him this time, I didn't say I wanted Birkin or Kelly, because they told me straight up that we already don't have any Birkin, any Kelly left. We only have Constance. So I was like, Constance, yeah, I will take it, bring it on. So I was asking this essay if I could get a Constance, and then so he went back to check, and then he after some time he came back, say sorry, no, afternoon time is usually, you know, after lunchtime is usually a little bit tough. Morning is a better time. So I was like, are you sure morning time is better? Because my first essay told me afternoon time is better. Are you screwing me? So I wasn't really sure like what to do, but my husband, like at that time I was already really disappointed, and also the time goes on, we couldn't get any appointment at a flagship store, and then the rejection at George Fifth store. So I was like, oh my god, I'm paying you, just give me the bag already. I couldn't stand this. This is crazy. I'm just trying to get a bag and stop rejecting me. I was like so frustrated. I couldn't do anything about it. So Wednesday, we went to the restaurant SA number 1 recommended for lunch, and after we went there, we asked the owner, took a picture of us. And Wednesday night, my husband said, let's send your essay email. So I wrote the essay email, really nice email, say, oh, thank you so much for your recommendation. We went to this restaurant, we really liked it, we enjoyed a good meal. Can you let us know our time like that is working for you so that we can see you tomorrow? And then I didn't know if she would check her email. I was a little bit nervous. Thursday she replied, replied to say come in the afternoon, like 2 p.m. So at least that gave me some hope. So we went back to the store at 2 p.m. And then when we went there, she was with another customer. They were buying some stuff, but it took a while. So we waited for more than 30 minutes. We were just drinking stuff and waiting for her. And then after she finished with the other customer, she was like, oh my god, so sorry for you making you guys waiting for so long. We're like, oh, no worries at all. Like, I definitely feel like she has appreciation for us that waited for so long and being very patient with her. So we also told her, chatted about the restaurant a little bit in details, and then she was really happy. And then she said, can you remind me your wish list one more time? Then I told her my wish list one more time. It was basically the same thing. And then she went back in. We were counting the clock, and I had a lot of thoughts going through my mind. I was like, oh my god, or what, she give me a color that I don't want, or what if she gives me a palladium hardware, and just a lot of thoughts. And then it's funny that while we are waiting outside, the SA number 2 saw us, and they recognized our face. I guess just every customer, some people are good with facial memories, and he walked out the back, and he told us, in my opinion, I think it's epic. I was like, oh my god, he totally like set my hope up, because if he thinks it's epic, it has to be a really nice bag. Otherwise he wouldn't say this, right? Or I would be super disappointed. So like about 18 minutes, my essay was out, and with a giant orange box, and she said, follow me. And she took us to the small room, and I know that small room because 4 years ago I was offered another bag there, so I know it has to be a Birkin or Kelly. I was really nervous, I was super excited, and then we went in the back room, and she had her gloves on. She opened the orange box, and you know, the paper for size, and she opened the dust bag, and I saw 2 handle. I know it's a Birkin. And when she took it out, I was like, oh my god, this is it. She made my dream come true. It was definitely very emotional. I was so happy. Although Ito wasn't on my wish list, but I think it's so lucky to get this color. And then I thanked her so much, and we chatted a little bit more, and then we got a little bit more stuff, like a tulle. My husband got some additional stuff like ties and just some small stuff, and she recommended me inserts. If you're familiar with the Hermes inserts, those inserts are like over 1,000 USD in the US, and even Paris slightly cheaper, but the inserts are super expensive. And then she keep telling me the inserts are super nice, and she was also showing me a Kelly wallet, and then she said the Kelly wallet is really nice too. I was like, I was just thinking, can I get away without buying all these? And I just nicely rejected her because I didn't want it to overly spend. And that's why I was getting some small stuff, and I got a Calvi card case as well. You will see that in my unboxing video. So I ended up not getting the other stuff that she recommended, but I got some stuff, so I spent a little bit more that day. But I was really happy because I was able to get my dream bag. That's briefly my story. So now I want to share with you guys all the tips that I have. Tip number 1, you should try to make an appointment with the FSH store, and if you have friends with you, you should have your friends enter their passport to increase your chances to get an appointment. And make sure your phone works and have your passport number ready. And about the time of submission, it doesn't really matter. You can submit anytime throughout the day during the window. You don't have to submit first thing in the morning, because I confirmed it with the essay. Like, it really doesn't matter if you submit first thing in the morning or not. It's pure just luck. Tip number 2, if you couldn't get any appointment with the flagship store same situation as me, then I would say definitely line up first thing in the morning to the George Fifth store or the Saf store to try your luck, and you will be assigned to different essays, and you can try different essays to see who gives you a better vibe. Number three, I want to point it out that I don't think they care about your US spending history, because I mentioned my US spending history that totally did not help at all. And my essay just told me that I don't care how much and what you get in the US. All I care here is we limit one bag every 6 months. One bag is Birkin or Kelly. The quota, the bags are one per 6 months. Yeah, so I really don't think the US spending history matters. Tip number four, be prepared to spend some money, because I think this is really important. I got one question asked me that do I think the spending helps? Here's what I can tell you. I think if I didn't spend this money, I didn't get anything else, I would not be able to get this back. So definitely you have to prepare to buy something. I know a lot of people online mentioned that zero extra spending, they were able to get a Birkin or Kelly. I think that's either that they were able to get an appointment with the flagship store, or they're just exceptional lucky. I think most people, whoever got a bag, has to spend some money, but just more or less depends on how lucky you are and depends on who you're dealing with. Tip number five, pick the right essay. I think it's really, really important to try to build a relationship with your essay, and not only treating her or him as a sales associate, but really talk to the person, get to know the person, and have a lot of communication. And I do think that after meeting my essay and I have a relationship build up with her, and it's really nice, and I have nice conversation with her, and treat her like your friend, and I think that will be super helpful. Number six, be willing to expand your wish list. Sacrifice. The reason I'm mentioning this is because before I went to Paris, I only wanted a Birkin 25, but because I feel like it's super hard to get in with the color leather combination that I want, it's tough on top of tough. That's why I was like, I should be more open-minded, give the essay more options and more room, because once they check the bag, they tell you, I'm sorry, I don't have the bag. You can tell them, oh, I'm sorry, can you please check this one more thing? It doesn't work that way. You have to tell them that if you don't have this, then I'll take this. If you don't have this, then I'll take that. And I'm willing to sacrifice. If you don't have gold hardware, I will take palladium hardware. But you also have to be true to your heart, right? Because you're spending so much money and you want to make sure that the bag that you get is something that you are 100% in love with. But I'm just suggesting that if possible, like expand your wish list a little bit. That will help. Tip number seven, I think be sure to at least spend 5 days. I do see people online say that they were super lucky, they were there like just 2 days, then they were able to get a bag. I think that's a very exceptional case, and we were there entire week, we weren't able to get a one appointment. I'm just saying that if you really, really want to try to guarantee that you get a bag, you don't want to stay there for just 3 days and not able to getting your dream bag because not enough time, but then you still spend the hotel money and airfare to go there. It will be a little bit sad. So I say at least give yourself 5 days, and you can try to make appointment online and go to different stores and two different stores, and just give yourself enough time. And tip number 8, I really wanted to say that you're gonna get a lot of rejections, and a lot of people are gonna say no to you every day, and just don't give up. I know it's easy to say, it's hard to do, but when I look back, the time I was like super frustrated, I definitely feel that if I could, I would have tell myself at that time, like, just be patient, like, don't give up, continue trying, and you will be able to get your dream back. The last thing I just wanted to say, best luck to you all if you are trying to get it back, and I hope you really enjoyed the video, and hopefully the information I shared is helpful for you guys. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you guys. Bye bye.